Cents in US dollars at the moment is definitely looking pretty good, especially over here in Australia. But other than that,
Yeah, it
FaZe,
might be 3 cents.
FaZe is, one of these last hopes for North America. They do have Twistzz in there, so
Oh, yeah,
you'd
NA.
really love to
Such
see
an NA team.
Twistzz getting on that stage. Of course, coming in as the favourites, it's going to be very difficult for ENCE to go up against them today. But if everyone's popping off, then I still see a reality where it happens, and it all starts here on Mirage.
Certainly does. And with all that said, you have to sort of take into account the fact that ENCE did quite comprehensively beat FaZe on Mirage at the Major. It was a best-of-1, and of course there was no stand-in factor there. But a 16-8, does it give you some hope for ENCE? I guess we have to wait and see. Odds certainly seem to be favouring FaZe. They start to make their way out into mid, and that might be a big old welcome to the upper bracket final for ENCE that they were not happy to see. FaZe already looking dominant in the pistol round, and they might not even lose a player.
Yikes. That's really not how ENCE wanted to start off this T side, and that's something that, despite having that stand-in factor, is something that I back ENCE on. Their ability to call great T sides so far has been apparent right since the first game, the opening game that they did play. I really, really rate Snappi as a caller, and he's had to play on so many teams in the past where maybe he didn't have the best tools or some of the best players in the world, but he's still able to get really, really good value out of them and design T sides and call a really, really good game. So that's something that ENCE are going to have to really try to make the best use out of possible, but you can't run your scraps when you just get absolutely annihilated making it through the map, and so far that's been the case. Nice couple of dinks from Maden, but still loses his life, and looking like ENCE are going to try to go put some pressure on Karrigan here.
Yeah, ropz may be in a precarious position given his HP, but he's not going to be taking any of those fights. Karrigan, a lot of damage done to Dika, and of course that's going to put an easy job on the shoulders of Twistzz, who is holding the B site from short. Bomb has dropped into the site as well, and ENCE now really just forced to commit, not that they weren't already. At least they will be able to get the plant down. Flash forward, and I wonder if Twistzz checks the corner. Certainly did not. And Snax makes it a little interesting, given especially the fact that ropz is quite low on HP, and Snax is continuing to frag. All of a sudden, maybe ENCE won't be going down without a fight in this round. It's on to Hades, MP9 in hand, and he's spotted, exiting by Rain. The bomb will be defused. FaZe get their second, but perhaps a bit of a heart-stopping moment for them.
Would be awesome to see Snax fire up in a match like this against one of the better teams in the world, because I feel like it's almost been a little bit sad to watch Snax. I've casted a lot of things like Challenger and Premier a few seasons now, and it's been kind of weird to watch Snax be, average or like decent at a Premier level, when there was times when I used to be active playing CS a lot and competing, where he was one of the best players in the world and one of the most entertaining players, and he would just have these insane big game performances. So, the man's capable of it, but can he pull it out in a game like this?
Maden already starting well. Molotov straight on in, but the smoke should put that out, and Maden gets back to safety. Snax gets deleted by ropz, and Rain is also there to help with the defense on the A bomb site. First gun round, it feels a bit wishy-washy at the moment, but you'd have to say it's leaning towards FaZe. Rain in a good spot, but can't land the shots. And Dika, again, standing up tall.
It's so awkward for ENCE in this round. 1:20 on the clock, and the bomb's all the way back in ramp side. Diha is going to go pick himself up an AK and go retrieve that, as Snappi gets himself wedged into a very important position up here in jungle. Karrigan does spot him. That is an absolute laser beam on the MP9. Bloody hell.
Tougher task now. 2-on-1. Karrigan with an MP9 only, but Diha is already tagged down to 48 HP, so it might as well be a laser beam. He's really searching for that bomb plan, isn't he? And he can't get it. Karrigan, he doesn't want a bar of it. Goes hurrying away out of jungle, and it'll be the job of broky to finish the round in the end.
Would have been great to get that bomb plant. Maybe you could even chuck another buy together for ENCE if you were thinking about it. You're keeping a lot of economic pressure on the CT side, but they're just not able to capitalize and finally get that round across. So, yeah, I like this call from ENCE. Little bit of a half buy. Can continue trying to keep that economic pressure on FaZe Clan's economy. Give yourself that reset window later on as you move in towards the full loss bonus. See if ENCE can try and take, 2 guns here. They'll be happy with that, and they can start moving along on their gun rounds from there.
ropz looking to take that challenge early on in the piece, and I think there's a little bit too much there for him to deal with. Multiple players swinging at the same time from different angles. It ultimately does fall to Twistzz to salvage And you know what I like about this game so far, even though it's 3-0 for FaZe and it'll probably end up being 4-0, is that ENCE are kind of keeping them honest. You know, they're really bringing out a bag of tricks in every single round. Individuals are stepping up. They're making it interesting. They're keeping FaZe thinking. And you just get the sense that at any moment, ENCE could strike. And from there, they might start to run away with a few rounds.
Well, that's what I was saying. You know, Snappi is such a fantastic caller that all of this economic pressure that they put on, they just need to win one gun round. That's it. And they've already made great use of that full loss bonus, getting a fantastic buy in here. So one gun round one will reset half of these players on FaZe. They probably will have to take a single save from there. This is 2-3 split. ENCE looking to take mid control and maybe convert that into a bit of an A split, but ropz is going to strike from underpass first. Hades looking to try to trade that frag back, but great flash coverage across mid from Rain. That's a two-man advantage for FaZe now.
Yeah, and this is going to be the first round, really, that looks like it'll be a commanding win for FaZe. I suppose outside of the pistol, but when we're taking into account the gun rounds, of course.
That's exactly what they needed, right? You know, they've been having guns taken out of their hands the last couple of rounds in a row, but a really clean gun round win here would really start to take away that storyline or that reset window from ENCE, that they can start to get a foothold back in this half, because when you get slapped in a gun round like this and potentially you're going to be back on the half buy without the plant next round, that's where FaZe can really start cementing themselves, their economy, and start running away with this game.
Snappi's on a search and destroy mission. Gonna walk right into Carrigan's crosshair though, and nothing really that he could do about it. Barely even gets to spot Carrigan before he goes down. 5-0 the start for FaZe, and it starts to sort of walk back on itself a little bit, what we were saying before, right? ENCE have been making it close in a sense in a lot of these rounds. They put some pressure on FaZe, but now it sort of feels like there's been this release valve that's just been opened up a little. FaZe, they've got money starting to flow into their coffers again. They weren't punished at all in that round. ENCE is now down 5 rounds in the blink of an eye, and you've got to wonder, can they actually turn this around? Is it a little bit too far gone now already? Have they given that opportunity to FaZe, that FaZe is just going to say, well, you know, there's the inch, we're going to take the mile?
The thing is that, I mean, FaZe don't really need an excuse to play aggressive. That is just their style. They love to be a little bit more confident. They love to rely on those individuals making plays and even, you know, over-peaking at times, because they know that they can rely on the rest of the players to clutch up and make the right moves in the mid-round. So, but having access to like a whole extra bit of money, a whole extra little bit of a buy, some teams will play, you know, start to change up their setup, start to throw in some different stuff, because they know that they do have that safety net of another buy in the back pocket. So FaZe can even chuck in some different stuff, start being a little more crazy. This is looking cute from ENCE. A half buy with a full execute on the A site, a couple of Mac 10s. This is going to be some blistering pace. We'll see how Rain handles it.
I mean, you've got 3 players there on the A site for FaZe, so they should have enough forces to defend with. Bit of counter util coming out now as well.
Ooh,
already a
love
volley
it.
into ramp, a smoke up into Palace as well, and it's going to keep ENCE at bay as they start to wait for that counter util to fade. Obviously, they've still got their own smokes to play with as they start to work their way into the A bomb site, and Rain does a good job of starting things off, also able to deny the bomb plant as the smoke fades, and it's worked out almost perfectly for FaZe, losing only the 1 gun.
FaZe has played around that perfectly, really. That was kind of old school execute from ENCE. You know, you used to have those wall of smokes across the A site, something that people were, they were experimenting with a long time ago before, like, you know, the SK core, you know, Luminosity kind of innovated the wall of smokes on the A site that we see. Everyone throws them in MM. Used to have all kinds of crazy execs, like wall of smokes with double mollies behind them and stuff like that. FaZe knows exactly how to deal with that. They just wait for the smokes to elapse, and they were all over that one. Now some aggression into A ramp from FaZe. ENCE working middle, trying to maybe size up a bit of a B split here.
Snappi just looking for a cheeky angle above and around the smokes.
Look at this from Rain, though. They're all the way through A ramp right now. Like, so much control on the extremity for FaZe that the longer that ENCE take moving through middle, you're eventually going to have this flank. Here's this smoke into window, smoke to top con, pop flash to pull maden onto the line. They want to try to take some con control, but broky just burns a Molotov in con. That's just burning so much time here from ENCE as they slowly constrict middle, but they're getting kind of surrounded at this point by FaZe slowly.
It's supreme confidence from FaZe, isn't it? Pushes all over the map. Carrigan does drop early on in the piece, but they have the trump card. and his name is Rain.
Oh,
he was
footstep
heard, and Snappi turns around, takes his head off. Maybe a moment of hope for ENCE as they bring it back to a 4-on-3. Snax is hanging on by a thread, though. 1 HP. Snappi also not looking too crash hot. Twistzz is in the middle of it all, causing a ruckus, will fall, and broky can't deny the bomb plant on A. Again, layers upon layers of flanks, and FaZe find a frag courtesy of ropz. It's on to Dika now to defend the A site. Snack's going to try and come through to assist, but again, he's 1 HP. And Dika buying his time long enough perhaps to have won the round now. Can broky find that one magic bullet that he needs? Not quite. Well, he should have gone deep enough to land on top of the bomb, and broky surely now has no chance. Or he could maybe tap it. It doesn't matter. Snack's still alive. Is going to just clutch the round out for ENCE, and what a crazy round that was.
You can see FaZe just going straight for the extremity control. That's where, like, they can start to change up their setups, be very fluid on this CT side of Mirage. With the strong economy they built up for themselves, they can even start mixing in things like double orbs, going on that deep B apps line, or going for a palace peak, and that's going to be extremely hard for ENCE to read and play around. But they did a great job of reacting to the flank there. Snappi in particular, I feel like that was the critical kill, because if Rain picks him, then, you know, it's kind of going to throw caution to the wind for ENCE. They're going to constantly be worried about the extremity and people, you know, pestering them on the flank.
Maybe not the way that ENCE would have liked to have brought up their first round on the T side, but they'll take it nonetheless. One is better than none, and it's something that they can build on. Starting to put some pressure on the CT economy. Maden able to find the trade for Dika. Keeps it in the balance for this round.
Flash is going to try to set up Maden for some success maybe, but he doesn't peek out sandwich. ENCE just going to try to cut sound, see if they're going to get any more peeks out of FaZe while the mid players try to find some control or take some contact. Seems like Snack's going to again go for the late lurk through B apartments. Great pick from Maden over there from Sandwich. Applies more pressure to these mid players, and Snack's on the lurk does get taken care of. It's actually Snappi in B apartments, and look at this bomb rotation all the way through Palace. They're going to try to go back to B here, but Twistzz... Oh, this duel between Twistzz and Snappi is absolutely everything, and that has absolutely thrown things into a little bit of a difficult position from ENCE, but they're still able to get the A site. Complete retake setup from FaZe.
Incend available for Maden as well, so he's got a little bit to play with if it gets into the late round. FaZe, having moved largely over toward the B bomb site, have got a long rotate to get back to A here, and already that bomb timer is almost half gone before they can even think about making their way into the site. Maden, he thinks he's cleared out T-spawn, and it might be a bit of false information. Will turn around again, spots ropz out, but again, ropz just is not losing any duels at the moment. It's down to Hades in the 1-on-3, just has to try to buy time, but can't, as the AWP shot rings out across Mirage, and the defuse is on. FaZe, they bounce back off of, I would say, a little bit of a speed bump, really, and they keep on driving.
I thought that was going to be the B apps lurk with the contingency plan back towards B. And they didn't commit to it. ENCE given that A site, they did still get the plant down, but FaZe very calm, very comfortable. Even though they're all split up across the map, just taking their time, clearing the angles. All the individuals so sharp that you just back them to win duels, even if they're not coming in on the retake together with, you know, numbers advantages or man advantages. They're still doing it pretty cleanly, pretty sensibly. Going to be difficult to break down this FaZe economy now. They're up 7-1. They've still got cash in the back pocket for more buys. Another attack timeout from ENCE. Going to have a bit of a chat. It's not like they haven't had their opportunities. You know, some of these rounds have been close, trading things back and forth, but FaZe very clearly has the edge in the XVXs. Once it comes down to, you know, 3v3s, post plants, things like that, the individuals on FaZe just all shine because they could just all multi-frag. They're all good for a kill.
Rough looking T-side so far for ENCE. They certainly had their opportunities earlier in the half, but it sort of feels as though FaZe has continued to power up the deeper we've gone into this game. They're playing confidently, they're playing fearlessly as well.
It's going to be ENCE just leaving Maden in mid. B execute, puts pressure on Carrigan, but there's going to be a quick flank from ropz, and Twistzz only getting 1-for-1 out towards that pillar side, and ropz drops the bomb on the flank.
Yeah, Carrigan still waiting on site. Behind bench. Gets deleted through that smoke by Dika. Maybe there is another twist and another turn still yet to come in this round. broky Not ready for Snacks to come jumping through that smoke, and it will be a second for ENCE.
These rounds are so chaotic, man. Just everything happening everywhere at once.
Still plenty of cash in the back pocket, though, for FaZe. That's the issue for ENCE.
Yeah. Coming down to 2 players surviving on that T side as well. Still got that loss bonus built up, though. Just speaks to the level of these teams, though, that there's no real indecision, there's no real panic or hesitation in the mid-round, even with these crazy duels being taken, like, you know, ropz popping out underpass or the flank in one of those earlier gun rounds. ENCE are not, you know, letting it worry them too much. Here's some mid-smokes out of ENCE, followed by that top con smoke, so really trying to burn through a lot of utility, taking some control of middle, but they've lost that pick towards a ramp. broky really mixing up his positioning on the AWP.
14 and 3. He's not missing a beat at the moment, and nor is the rest of FaZe. Twistzz holds that spray, catches maden. It is going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Hades is there for the trade, but I don't think that's going to worry FaZe all that much. ropz might have been spotted, so he'll just jump his way back up in the ladder room. Continue to hold down the mid angle. Smoked off now, but that gives him a bit of room to work. He walks into Snappi's crosshair. Rain at this range with an MP9. You don't give him a chance. Deca certainly did not. And ENCE, maybe now, they've finally found what they're looking for.
Lost first pick, but what a huge round from Snappi. Whole bunch of duels that he was taking were absolutely critical in the mid-round there. And ENCE have finally got their foot in the door here, Jordan. They've finally broken down that FaZe economy and won their 2 gun rounds that they desperately needed back-to-back. And now FaZe taking a single save, and even in towards the next round, they're going to be on like that 4 to 4.5k kind of buy, you know, A1Ss and limited util. That means no AWP for broky. And he's been a big success factor for FaZe so far. So this is a good opportunity for ENCE to not only close this anti-eco, but potentially have an easier buy to play against in the next round. And all of a sudden, that's where they could turn this into a 7-5 half and start to, you know, fight to make it a little bit closer.
Not taking anything for granted in this round, though, is ENCE. Really slow and methodical, starting to work their way through the map now. Taking that smoke into mid-window. Snappi as well. Going to be utilising his util early on in the piece. As they start to take a bit more mid-control. Con smokes go down. Gives ENCE a lot of room to work with. A little bit of a push out on short from Carrigan as he starts to look for some info now. I'm not sure how much that's going to help him, though. ENCE looking quite strong in this round. Twistzz does spot them out, but Carrigan, he's got nothing to defend with, and that'll be the B site more or less cracked open. Yep. Rotates are coming across from those USPing players.
Yeah,
but
it's good stuff. What are you going to do? It's very sensible. Mid control taken. Just waiting. Oh, actually, that might be a bit of an overpeak. Losing the AK there. And actually, this is where FaZe could start to get some value out of a round like this. Steehart, see if he could go and get his hands on that AK. He's still on the B site. broky wants to try and go and find the weapon if he can, but I think it's been juggled away by ENCE. Snacks all over that one. Oh, gets a couple of things for him. I think ENCE, though, big picture, very good approach on Mirage, anti-eco. Slow round, taking mid-control, waiting to see if FaZe are going to go for like a flash play into middle or over peak or something like that. And from there, just going for that mid to B split. Taking a lot of those longer range angles. They have someone a bit more mobile on the MAC-10 to be able to run up short. And after all said and done, they only lose a MAC-10 there because I think D-Hard did go and scavenge that AK. So this is a really big economic swing now for ENCE. They've had a clean anti-eco there. They've won themselves a gun round. They've got so much cash now, and FaZe, ooh, it's going to be a glass cannon on ropz. That's
I was
cool.
wondering. I was watching. He was holding his buy for quite a while. There must have been a discussion around that.
He's got the A-spawn here, so you might try and jump up on towards that palace line. Keep an eye on the movement and the positioning of Snacks here.
Oh, and he might just catch his man as well. Obviously no armor here for ropz. He's going to start to have a look, but the orbit pays off. Great peek. And it's already one step on the way to a round victory for FaZe.
And in the meanwhile, they are being so aggressive on middle. They've just got ropz on that A side of the map. The rest of FaZe really trying to take some tools and break any kind of a mid-control there for ENCE. But you can very much see that FaZe not seeing anyone in towards middle can start to lean towards these sites a bit more. They're playing retake B. Really trying to dominate mid and catch ENCE on the cross of some of these angles. ropz is still on that Palace line and gets another one onto maden as he tries to cross back in towards Palace. ropz is just dismantling this round
and they're
all
so
on
scared
his
of him.
lonesome.
You're going to have to deal with him, and of course Rain is waiting on that line as well to peek when necessary. Ooh. And ropz is tearing them apart. It's a glass cannon AWP, but it does the damage. He wants some more. Hades tries to force him away with a warning shot. Oh, the collat! That's a bit of extra damage onto FaZe, but it'll still be their round victory, one would think. Hades stepping up now. 40 seconds left. He's got time to play with. If he turns around and spots Twistzz, maybe this is winnable. 10 HP. He's missed the timing.
Yeah. And he hasn't really got time to go to B anymore. Carrigan will be on that off angle. Twistzz has made his way into Palace. That's unplantable on A anymore with that player in Palace and the player on the off angle at stairs.
Yeah, I was just wondering if he was going to walk forward while Twistzz was still crossing.
Those kills mean something though, for real. And they've got so much money that a save is actually not too bad here for the T side. So Hades at the end of the round taking 3 guns off of FaZe is definitely going to tax their economy and keep that reset window open. 1900 loss bonus here for FaZe. You're going to see a couple of guns being dropped over. That was huge from ropz, though. He had the A spawn. You know, he risks it for the biscuit. Just great intuitive timing of how people move, the way that they default into Palace. Peeks in towards between those pillars at the perfect timing. Then just posts up on that A line. Tack timeout here for ENCE. They recognize the opportunity presented to them in a round like this. 1900 loss bonus for FaZe. If they win this round, they could really start to fight for an 8-7 half. They could break the cash here on the CT side.
Timeout called there for ENCE.
Mac had an important message for you.
He did. Not sure where that's come from. But it's still definitely a salvageable, workable half for ENCE. I mean, you can see they've had their moments. If a little bit more had been going their way, they might even be in the lead.
Yeah.
8-4, you know, this could still balloon out, very much favoring FaZe, but it could still contract. And once again, we're talking about ENCE favorably.
Util into mid here for ENCE. Careful around this underpass position. ropz has just been constantly changing up his playstyle and changing up his position and just continually finding success. The flash from Rain is what you need to keep your eye on. The second that he pulls back, it's going to be an opportunity for
Twistzz.
FaZe to swing out into middle, and that's exactly what they do. Now Carrigan all alone on the B side. ENCE need to find some entries, and they're doing just that. 2 from Diha.
Exactly what they needed. ENCE now into the side. Diha lucky to be alive, but they're forcing broky forward, courtesy of those Molotovs. Maybe not quite aware of that factor. He allows himself a couple of frags. And it's on to Snacks, the super sub. Can he pull off the unthinkable? Has actually managed to tuck his way into Van as FaZe slow down the play to try to play out the 2-on-1. Snacks, I'm starting to feel it. Rain hasn't spotted him. And he's just playing that timer. Snacks is going to win this round. On the bomb. Oh, he's not going to win it. Rain covers it off. They knew.
They checked absolutely everything
They
else.
checked
They
everything
really
else. There was only one place he could be.
Yeah.
And Rain was heads up enough to turn around and have a look at it.
Yeah, process of elimination. This mid setup is absolutely brutal to play against. So many sharp riflers on FaZe. The combo of ropz and Twistzz just swinging into middle and Rain just enabling that with the flash over from stairs side. Like, they just have such a great intuition about when's a good time to go for that flash peek into middle and how to play off of each other. Very quick one straight out of A ramp, but maden just goes down for free. Not really too much ENCE can do about that.
ropz not going to have a factor in this round. broky gets deleted. Diha starting to hit some fantastic entries, and it's another twist and another turn to the map as ENCE start to rise up. Minute and a half left on the clock, and immediately a couple of answering frags come through from FaZe. Rain is under pressure, but gets the smoke down. Keeps himself alive.
Things slow down now. Hades waiting to see if he can catch one of these FaZe players making a mistake. Barely misses the timing there on Rain crossing back to middle. Snack's going all the way to B, wants to go on this big rotation all around the map and see if he can find a timing, but Carrigan is about 7 steps ahead of him. He's read him like a bloody book.
We've seen what Hades can do, though. Let's not count him out of this round. He's got full bar of HP, he's got the AWP in hand, he can get the plant down as well. And once he gets that plant, he'll have a lot of time in the post plant. He's even spotted Rain out. Oh, waits for the peak, but Rain is too good at the moment, and no head armor for Hades makes it an easy job.
Yeah, FaZe have lost it. ENCE have lost control of it, unfortunately. They've had a couple of opportunities missed in this half where they really needed to get that one reset round across. Only able to create one of those opportunities, and off that whole economy that they built for themselves, despite some heroics in mid from Snappi. Aha, it's a heroic joke. Still can't get it done. Multi-fragging up the storm with the Galil. Last round of the half, pretty substandard buy from ENCE. They're going to try to get it done with pistols, armor, and util. Another play towards the A site. It's a retake setup from FaZe. What an off angle from Rain. Who the hell plays in front of Ticket?
The major MVP.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. He's pretty good, I guess. I'd pick him on my team if I got him. And it's for things like that. Opening the account for FaZe. Nicely done. ropz and broky looking for a couple more, and this looks like it's going to be a bit more of a formality kind of round for FaZe. Just Snacks left and can't do too much in the 1-on-5. So 11 rounds up for FaZe. Only 4 for ENCE. I don't know if that tells the exact tale of the way that half played out, but nonetheless, that's exactly where we are. And it looks like FaZe is rampaging through ENCE at the moment. only 4 rounds on their T side they were able to manage, despite some close rounds, some good plays, some exciting moments. Just got to wonder, is 4 rounds really enough?
Too many opportunities there on their T side where they missed the window. Needed to reset that CT economy a couple too many times, but FaZe, just such a tough team when even on those low buys on CT, on those 4 to 4.5 Ks, you know, any one of those players with an A1S in hand is still a win condition. Now ENCE need to get rolling on their CT pistol here. Util being thrown over the A side of the map to top con and jungle here for FaZe, making it look like an A side execute. But really, they're just trying to push and pull rotations, and ropz has taken advantage of that already with the first entry.
Wouldn't want to be seeing the pistol go the same way that it did in the first half. Not if you're an ENCE fan, at least.
Oh, look at this. Rain using that as a lurk up con.
Deha tapping away, but finding no success. Snax will lose his life, and Twistzz somehow is still half HP. Eats a bink through the wall, but he's still alive, and Rain has gotten in behind. He'll walk his way into CT spawn and just set up like a turret.
FaZe are just all over the map, but all of the players know exactly how to play in every situation. That is beautiful from Deha. He's been super on point this series. Maden on the retake position on A. You can hear all of these footsteps. Going to hear the plant starting to come in. Can he deny it? A lot of damage onto broky there. Going to start to set himself up with the one-way smoke over towards ticket side. But Snappi gets cleaned out of jungle.
Carrigan's already found Snappi. It's a 3-on-2. Maden's going to jump up and down and make a bit of noise. He's got his teammate behind him. But Carrigan is lurking in the smoke and waiting. And finding his man. 12-4. The round goes the way of FaZe. It's the second pistol of the map for them. And it's terrible news for ENCE.
Must be so hard to play against FaZe Clan, man. Like, all of the players just don't make mistakes. They're split up all over the map, but they're so good at it autonomously just making the right play at the right juncture in the round. Very, very few misplays. See all the little parts come together in the mid to late round is so cool to watch. Force buy now from ENCE. Kind of a last-ditch effort, really. Not too many opportunities left for them in this game. Nice timing for Hades, but Rain still just turns on a dime and takes him out. Now this execute into B. Twistzz up in on the entry.
Twistzz doesn't care, does he? He's got a MAC-10. He's just charging forward. He knows there's a couple of players here, but he is dismantling the defense on B. A one-man army. Can't quite deal with Deha. Hang on. Hang on. Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. Deha, he has been the ray of sunlight. A ray of hope for ENCE.
It's been so good to see him step up to a Tier 1 level after a whole bunch of seasons of Premier and Challenger on multiple Polish rosters.
Carrigan's hurt him.
Yeah, he's made the dropping sound, and this off angle looking pretty good for Carrigan, unfortunately. Trying to use the E button to pick up that Galil is going to be the end of him. Nice couple of shots, though. Chris fatiguing. Good damage from ENCE, though. 3 guns taken away.
Yeah.
Now they can reinvest into a couple of deagles, maybe try to keep that economy low, give themselves an outside shot at winning this next round.
It's the same old story, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's good. It's great. It's nice. Good damage from ENCE. Oh, nice round. Almost. Well done. Nice try. NT in chat. But it's 13-4, Pilski. So, at the end of the day, they need rounds.
Yeah. It's not an elimination game, though.
It's true. FaZe are stamping their mark on this tournament, though. That is for sure. They have had no problem sweeping through this bracket thus far, and it doesn't look like they will here either. ropz,
what do you do?
Flying through the air and absolutely nailing everybody. Carrigan is playing DM on Mirage right now. You know when you go into DM and you just
DM, dude.
yeah, play headshot only, or you don't spray, you just tap.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ah!
The Magic Zeus. The mighty Zeus.
Make the noise.
Come on, Snax. Come on, ropz. Do something!
Please.
Yes!
Oh, got him! Oh, the knife!
Double kill! It's great. Well done, friends.
Small victories. We got
But they didn't win the round.
Yeah, they did. I know, Jordan. I know. Oh, boy. Alrighty. What do we got here from ENCE? Should be a pretty good buy in towards round number 19. They got to start getting rolling now. Not much left in this game. FaZe with probably enough to go for a buy in the next, so it's going to be 2 gun rounds back to back to start closing the score round gap. A lot of players in middle here.
He's an absolute mad lad. He's fearless. And he's dead.
The whole CT team is in mid, Jordan. Like, very, very clear what ENCE wanted to do with this round, but Twistzz has got some space on this A site. This round is very much not done and dusted. Bomb going down for ropz. Twistzz starting to flash himself into CT to try and take some duels, and ropz is going to start cutting down some of these angles.
I don't know that ropz is going to do anything anymore. Ooh. Twistzz with a 1-on-4. Is there a chance? Oh, there certainly is. 2 headshots. There's a third. And Snappi. Oh. So he denies the highlight moment. That was going in the montage for sure.
That second shot was absolutely filthy, Jordan. Unbelievable.
Yep.
That guy's pretty good. He's alright.
Well,
do you have any hair product in your bag?
Can
you do my hair like Twistzz?
I don't know if I can do that. I've always actually been a little bit jealous. I love his hair.
This second shot. This hold on. This one. Oh, it's so filthy, man. And that's going to be so bad for ENCE's economy. You're going to get the reinvestment here straight away from FaZe, and this could be the money broken.
Max just brought me some hair product, so we'll get that one sorted in the break.
Again, ENCE dueling middle a little bit. Not a full commitment in on over here. It's mostly just Snacks who's under a little bit of pressure now.
Mid control established for FaZe, but ropz is playing a dangerous game. He's been spotted, but
that's
call
like
the ambulance.
pretty much a free fire.
Not for me. Carragher not quite going to be able to land that flick. Dihar will take his head off. Back to the 4-on-4 now, but FaZe is trying to pick up the pace as they make their way out from connector. Losing lives on the way, but they're getting the trades. They're getting what they need done. Numbers still even.
Oh. ropz was over at A earlier. How is Snappi? Every time someone's flanking Snappi, he's all over it. Flash trying to set up that player to peek from jungle. AWP picked up by broky now, and he's starting to play around these Tetris angles where he can just take a shot and then get back to safety.
Yeah, but they're going to know exactly where he is, and they'll peek him together. broky down to 10 HP. Nade doesn't land. broky switched on enough to see that could be a possibility, but the smoke obscures his vision, and Snappi will win the round for ENCE. They're not done yet.
That's going to be the soft reset on FaZe's money. So this is an opportunity now for ENCE to build up their own cash. FaZe have been keeping these rounds competitive, continually pulling guns away from them. I thought that was a pre-fire with how quick it was, but it was just great crosshair placement from ropz. Good stuff from Snappi as well. Here's the save from FaZe. So ENCE, you can see how broke they are. They're reducing their loss bonus down to minimum by winning this round. So they need a really clean anti-eco, or they're going to be reset right on that point, and that's something that you really can't afford to have happen.
No scout in this round anymore.
Good start.
ENCE are looking a little more comfortable on their CT side, and it's well and good, but there is a long way to go before we can really start to think about them winning this map. Didn't give themselves that much leeway from the T side, and I think they'll be mulling that over for pretty much the rest of this half, because there was definitely a lot of moments that they could have won rounds. Didn't. We'll see how close they can make it on this CT side. Small bits of damage being done by FaZe, but nothing too substantial, nothing to get excited about just yet. Bomb plant is down though. Twistzz has been spotted out, so it is just broky, and he is going to be absolutely slammed by util.
Snappi is like the best anti-flank player ever, I swear to God. It's another time where someone's gone on a really random late lurk timing, and he's just been all over it. That's exactly what ENCE needed though. 4 guns taken through is going to stabilize that economy. FaZe does get the plant though, so they're going to be able to put together a very nice spy here. AWP for broky, full util for all the boys. And you just back FaZe to close this game every day of the week. Like, you know, this much of a round gap rather to play with for Carrigan. Like, surely he just gets 2 good calls across the line, and that's all you really need. Multiple smokes in towards middle here. for FaZe. And they're not really using them. ENCE not respecting them at all, just looking for info. Starting to vacate middle now as these smokes come over from the A side, all thrown by broky. All of that util to jungle and top corners. This underpass lurk starting to come in here. These ENCE players that are playing those rotate positions on towards stairs, on towards jungle, are going to be a little bit confused. They got to keep their cool, because FaZe are really trying to abuse these timings right now.
No one so much as moving a muscle holding those close lines. Dika, though, has managed to find Twistzz trying to make his way up connector. Snack's not yet spotted and tucks himself in the corner, but ropz will check it. It's not going to matter. Snacks is good for one. Not a second. That's more than enough, though. ENCE have the numbers advantage well and truly, and Carrigan hiding above the smoke. It's not a great place. So broky this time left in a 1-on-4. ENCE are not going to give him any leeway at all. Maden finishes it off. 8 up now for ENCE. They step 1 meter closer. 6 rounds to go before they equalize.
No plant means that it's probably got to be another one of these half buys for FaZe. ENCE economy starting to get a little bit more healthy now. So ENCE definitely in a position where this comeback is possible. Wouldn't say likely, but it's possible. Starting to pick up some momentum, individuals hitting their shots. Hard buy here for FaZe, trying to contest mid-control, but that is getting shut down well and truly from ENCE. Keep an eye on what happens this next gun round, though. Because you've seen ENCE playing very heavy middle at the start of the round, time and time again. I'm kind of wondering if FaZe is going to go for like a quicker one out of one of the extremities. Maybe a quick palace pop, or fast out A ramp, or a quick one towards B.
At what point does it get a bit close for comfort? Are we there yet?
No, I don't think so. I think you need 2 more gun rounds from ENCE.
Well, it's not that far away. We've been motoring through this second half.
Like 11 or 12, you start to have a think about it. This is why I'm saying that I'm waiting to see what the adaptation from Carrigan is in this next round, because he's already seen a couple of gun rounds now from ENCE where you've seen them fighting pretty heavily for middle. This is the kind of mind game, right? When you're trying to put together this much of a comeback on the CT side, you can't just keep throwing the same setup in there. So we'll see how ENCE starts this next round. Are they going to do like a 2-1-2? Are they going to keep doing these 1-3-1s and this mid-aggression in towards the next round? And for FaZe, like I said, are they going to do something a little different? First thing I'm looking at is broky buying himself an AWP? Or are we going 5 rifle? Because that's going to tell us something about the tempo and the pacing that FaZe is going to use here. Straight on the AWP. Attack timeout for FaZe. Nice and reasonably early on here. They know they've still got plenty of room to work with. They've got a couple of tells, a couple of ideas, watching how ENCE is playing Mirage so far.
That's the first attack timeout FaZe have used this map. So
I mean, the first half, they weren't having any problems.
correct, but what I'm saying is if this actually starts to get tight, they can
Yeah, they got a lot of tacks, for sure.
keep spamming them.
The thing is, though, you also give ENCE time to discuss when you're taking those tacks. So it is a bit of a double-edged sword sometimes.
Can be. Let's see if the fruits of the labour will come into effect in this round for FaZe.
So FaZe just goes straight for the mid-control. A lot of util invested here. ENCE don't commit to that mid-aggression. Rain already very deep up on this connector position, so 1-3-1 from FaZe, just watching the extremities, posting up these players in middle, and Carrigan's already picked up that bomb and started heading back towards A, so they're trying to draw these ENCE players towards middle. You can see ENCE still very much committed into that 1-3-1 positioning for the time being. As FaZe organize themselves on A, they're going to be going into a retake A setup. Most of the util here on Snacks, you know, you're looking at things for the retake like a molly, you know, HE nades and stuff like that to try to make those players over near firebox a little bit more uncomfortable and make that retake a little bit more streamlined for ENCE as they come back in here.
What's the counter util looking like for ENCE at the moment?
There's none. It's really just maden looking to try to get a pick as they're coming into the site and stay alive here.
AK though on this line to find a pick. Not going to be easy. Gets the nade out. Doesn't really do much damage with it. And he's already down to 33 HP, but has managed to find the head of Carrigan. So there's the pick you're looking for.
Beautiful. Bomb dropped as well. That's going to burn some time off the clock. That's allowed Hades to get into position over here.
Yeah, and FaZe have run out of util. They don't really have any smokes.
Yeah.
Couple of flashes maybe to play with, but getting a plant down is going to be very hard, and that's a great flick from Hades.
Yeah, ENCE in complete control at this point. They're max chilling in towards these jungle and con positions. Only that that jungle smoke the last thing up, but Hades is just picking them apart with absolute ease. Couple of picks from ropz out of Palace though.
13 seconds only though, Pilski, and the molly's now only just coming through for ENCE. Counter util from Snacks. He was the player that had it in the back pocket, but all of a sudden we're down to a one-on-one. How on earth this has happened, I have no idea. But Twistzz might just put it through to match point for FaZe. He's looking for it, gets the reload off, but Snappi saves the day for ENCE.
It's just there's no way that round should be so close. Like, it's so unreasonable.
Yeah.
Just the individual skill on FaZe. ENCE were all over that. They
were.
did absolutely everything right. And then ropz was just like, yeah, feeling like a 3K. Twistzz taps another one, and then it's a 1v1, and like, Snappi is just clenching. And still get it done, though. And like I said, they've done a great job building up their economy in the last little bit, so losing that many guns is not as much of an issue as it might be for ENCE. Plant will enable FaZe to go for another buy here, though.
And they've done so.
Bomb plants are super important for FaZe as they hit this full loss bonus.
A lot of smokes into mid this time again from FaZe, but they're not sending any members in that direction.
There's a little more pressure on the extremities here. Smokes into B all the way from spawn from ropz. FaZe really trying to fake out like this is a B-side execute, and then they start to go out ramp looking for a pick. Both broky and Rain trying to find some space here as Twistzz lurks up from underpass.
Man, these opening frags from maden have been really, really useful.
This is just not gone well for FaZe at all. maden's all over it. Perfect timing picking out onto Twistzz. And this is again like another 2-on-5 where like, thank God ropz doesn't have his gun in his hand because you'd probably back him to win that duel. But ENCE, another great round where they seem to be all over it, and with no bomb plant for FaZe here, they might try to have to go for a bit of a half buy.
I did ask you the question a couple of rounds ago.
I'm starting to believe. ENCE is looking convincing.
That's the 2 gun rounds we spoke of. I'd have to agree with you. ENCE is looking very good. FaZe still have a lot of tack timeouts in the back pocket, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see one getting called right after this round. But ENCE have looked clean as a whistle on the CT side. broky doing a little more damage. Again, not a huge concern for ENCE at the moment. They've got plenty of cash to play with, but if he were to somehow win this duel onto Snacks, which he's not really even going to go for, maybe there was a scary moment. 14-11 though.
Yeah, no plant for FaZe means this is probably a half buy pistol armor with some util, most likely. ropz has got enough for a hero AK, which is scary.
It's a good man to have it.
Yeah, and it's not even just him. Like, even if he dies,
Well, they've all got armor.
if they get onto the side and he dies, Twistzz can pick that up.
Yeah, Twistzz. How many almost clutches has he pulled off so far on this map?
So we're going to have an AEXE here. Hades is going to be playing retake with that AWP from Triple. He's looking for a pick and try to get out of the side.
Faster play this time from FaZe. They don't have the guns and the util to be messing around, so they're just going to try and close the distance and get into the site as quickly as possible. Tech-9 shots ringing out all over the place, but they're not finding any kills just yet. And that's a big deal for ENCE, who are starting to bring their forces across, throw that counter util in. They'll allow the bomb plant to go down, and Deca and Snacks are a little worse for wear at the moment, and Rain is starting to gather some map control. This starts to look a little worrisome for ENCE.
Another pick from Twistzz. ropz is set up perfectly in Palace.
Yeah, Snappi going to have a job to do. maden is chiming in and helping out, but still 3 Ts to find and not a lot of time to do it in. Smoke down in connector. It's on to Rain now, but the bomb is to an extent planted for him. If he gets the timing right, denies the defuse, he's not going to be there. Snappi will cover it off anyway. 14-12.
It's another round where ENCE, like, they're relatively in control of that. You know, playing that retake setup, they're just letting FaZe burn out all their util. But when you saw Twistzz getting a couple of those Tech 9 frags from the stairs position, you were starting to get a bit nervous for ENCE.
Yep.
A little bit nervous. They put it back together, though. They've got plenty of cash. This has been really, really great building of their economy this whole game long. Another tack timeout for FaZe here. There's been more than enough for Carrigan to look at to start to get a feel on, you know, what might be a good call, what might work. It feels like FaZe at the moment is trying to be a little bit too tricky sometimes.
Maybe.
They're throwing multiple different sets of smokes from all the way back on the map, trying to push and pull rotations, and it doesn't really feel like ENCE is panicking or overreacting to any of those plays.
8 rounds in a row for ENCE. The only rounds FaZe have won in this half are the pistol and then the subsequent 2 rounds. So based on that math, you have to kind of back ENCE to close it out now. They've been doing really well, but all it takes is one little falter, one mistake, the final hurdle.
Oh, Hades.
And could that be it?
Only legs Twistzz. He was trying to go for an AWP pick on that underpass position, but only hits the leg shot and Twistzz cleans him up. So now a man advantage for FaZe. How do ENCE recover this position? They don't really have anyone on any kind of aggressive angles. They don't have a wealth of util to lean back on. Look at this massive util advantage for FaZe. And they're going to use it too. They're just going to walk back to A, keep things simple, and throw a bit of a side exit.
Seen a bunch of multi-frags from Maden on this site when FaZe have tried to walk their way in, so they're going to need something like that again. Snax has come across on the fast rotate. It is 3 players defending A. It's your standard hold, and he's got himself into Ninja as well. I wonder, FaZe, are they going to clear it out? Not quite in time. Snax, through the flash, is able to find one, and maybe ENCE can pull themselves out of trouble another time. Look at how low these FaZe members are. Dika and Snappi still in with a chance, but everything going to plan for FaZe. The flashes landing to perfection, the util, the smokes. And Snappi will probably have to give up that match point round to FaZe.
Great rotation timing from Snax. He got into position there. Couple of close duels could have been the difference maker from ENCE. Maden gets spammed through the smoke as well. A little bit unlucky. But FaZe finally got the round that they've been looking for. Just so many rounds where they're so far ahead. They can just continue having a crack at it. Tack timeout for ENCE now. It's their last of the map. They've done a great job on this comeback, and actually they've looked pretty rock solid on this CT side, but at the end of the day, they just didn't get enough out of their T side, it feels like.
Yeah.
They've been on a good enough streak to actually go 3 back-to-back. Like, it's not unreasonable to say that.
I agree.
But, I don't know, just feels like FaZe have got enough quality to avoid that OT. Those flashes from ropz were absolutely perfect. He's been coming out of that Palace position for such a long time, even going back to that mouse spots roster, so he's so great at setting up those entry players, scaling out ramp for success with the right util at the right times.
Well, here we go. Hades cannot land the shots. Smoke will bloom, and that allows broky out to top mid. He's having a bit of a look for Hades as well, and he's going to find his man. That's the 2nd round in a row now that Hades goes down early on, and ENCE will have to play out the 4-on-5. It's quickly brought back, so maybe not as big of a concern as the previous round here for ENCE.
So many players here for ENCE off towards the middle. They really want to take a duel here if they can. They've got this triangle crossfire, but in comes a bit of a B execute. Now a lot of pressure on Snappi. He's all on his lonesome without really too much support.
Hiding in jail at the moment. Oh, it was the place to be, but he couldn't land the shots on Rain, and now rotates have to come over. The reinforcements have to arrive. Snax has done a good job to get one, but Dika, it all rests on his shoulders. He spots the bomb, drops ropz, can't get any more done. Carrigan eats a headshot.
Nade.
The nade certainly will finish him off. And Maden fell off the line at the wrong time. Did give up some HP. Again, it's Twistzz in the clutch. He's had quite a few of these opportunities. Hasn't converted. This is the 3rd, and this is the one. FaZe 16-12. It took them a while to get it over the line. ENCE a stoic CT side, but it was not enough. And FaZe is now 1-0.